Hello, everyone. Welcome to She's Purposeke membership.com. We have another awesome woman on tonight with us on Book Talk with She's Purposeke. I am Key Andrea Ragland. My mission is to lead, serve, and elevate. And as you know, when we come on She's Purposeke, we like to celebrate the women in the room, right? And so tonight, I'm asking for each and every one of you who are joining us tonight, or even coming back to watch the replay, to type in the comments, congratulations. Let's celebrate this author, Miss T. Trice, tonight, right? Because she is brave. She was brave. She was courageous to write her story and share her story with the world, right? And so we believe in celebrating. So let's say whoop, whoop, whoop. Congratulate her tonight. And guess what? She's gonna share more of her story, more of her projects. She's gonna share about her business. She's gonna share about self-love, about self-confidence, why it's important to have confidence, right? And so again, we just welcome you on tonight. I am author, coach Key Andrea Ragland. She's Purposeke, as you would hear me say. And on many of my other platforms, you can follow me on She's Purposeke on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. I am author, coach Key Andrea Ragland. On YouTube, I am author and coach Key Andrea Ragland. And I work with Christian professional women who are stuck, helping them to identify limiting beliefs. My job is to push, right? Is to help you create those strategies and implement, right? So we don't just have a whole bunch of goals, but we are breaking those goals down so we can what? Activate and make it happen, right? We're about action. So faith without works is what? It's dead. So let's in 2024, let's make it intentional. My word this year is intentional. I'm being intentional about connecting with women, collaborating with others in the room. Okay. And so enough about She's Purposeke right now. And I want to bring Miss T in the room. And so, lady, come on in, and let us know who you are and how you are showing up in the world.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, come on in. Yes, let us know who you are. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you do.
Hey guys, this is T Trice. I'm here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. I am a co-author of an anthology, and I am a what is titled a serial entrepreneur.
All right. And so tell us a little bit more about I know you are a serial entrepreneur. And so when did you start? When did you start this journey?
Being an entrepreneur when I was a child.
Wow, when you was a child. Okay. So
Had
what
no idea I was setting myself up to really do this. But yeah, as a kid, I used to just whatever I had to do to keep money in my pocket. So I
mm-hmm.
didn't have to ask mom and dad for anything. Like as the young people call it, I was a hustler. Not in that aspect, but I was selling bubble gum and lollipops and things of that nature, but I was making good money.
Okay,
Back
okay.
then, yeah.
So that way your motivation started way when you was young.
Way back. Yes. Yes.
It's okay. So you started young,
Yeah.
and so that you kind of already had start creating things, like creating,
Yes.
you had
I
these
was planting that
ideals,
seed. Yes.
right? You had these ideals. And so when did you actually, and when you became an adult, your first full-time business, when did it start?
That would be 9 years ago.
Okay.
Um, Prior to that, I don't know how many years prior to that, but I found myself journaling and I wrote out a business plan on how to open a daycare and become a millionaire. What was it going to take? How many kids I needed, how much to charge per week per child, how many buildings it was going to take for me to reach that seven-figure income, and folded it up, tucked it away in my Bible, and never looked at it again.
Mm.
I was like, ugh. So how God worked and moved that thing was I was working in corporate in downtown Nashville. The environment became so toxic. I found myself stressed out, um, just in a depressive state. Not just myself, but my colleagues as well. And I kept crying out to God and praying to God. I was like, God, I don't know how much more I can take. I don't know what to do. And it's this and it's that and whatever, whatever. And I was just getting this nudge. Go to your Bible. Go to your Bible. Go to your Bible. I need you to start back reading. You know what I mean? And it was at that moment I opened my Bible and my business plan fell out on the floor.
Wow. Look at that.
And right then, and I got chills now. Right then and there, I said, you know what? I'm not losing this again. And I held on to it. I got back thinking on it, working on it, but I still didn't move as I needed to move. And so what happened was the environment became so toxic where it created a different, my character changed. I was very tense, high anxiety. My son didn't want to be around me. I didn't even want to be around myself, because every day after getting off work, coming home, trying to detox and dreading to get up and go back into that environment the next day, it was draining. God made it so uncomfortable. So I don't know how to call it, but I was terminated. Upon termination, I didn't have a choice but to do what I had set out to do originally.
Like a force. Like sometimes he allowed things to push us out, right?
Come on now. Yes.
Yeah. And so I've been in those situations before too, where we kind of waver.
Yeah.
And we already have this feeling inside of us, and sometimes we can pinpoint like what that uneasiness is, that uncomfortable feeling is, that what that it's just not right, or it's time for me to go, or it's time for me to move. And we, in being honest, we just sometimes procrastinate. Either we procrastinate or we just keep having this conversation with God, like, we just asking him for answers, and he's like, I already gave you the answer.
I already gave it to you. I told you what to do. You're not moving.
You're not moving.
You ain't nowhere. You left.
Right, it's you. So we have to do these self-checks. And I'm so glad you actually started out talking about that, because that when it comes that self-check, they're having that spirit of discernment. And just being, a lot of times he will allow things to happen. And sometimes we'll make questions like, Lord, why are you allowing this to happen?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's a reason.
It's a reason. It is.
I always say all things happen for a reason. My pastor just preached on this past Sunday. When it comes to failures, there's no failure. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lesson in it. So sometimes we got to ask ourselves, what's the lesson in this thing? You know what I'm saying? And so thank you for opening up and sharing that, because what the enemy meant for bad, God turned it around for your good.
Come on now. Yeah. Right?
And so you went ahead and stepped out, as you said, it was already there. You just had to be reminded of. You was reminded of this thing. Let me bring this, we like to bring him back to his remembrance, but a lot of he'll bring us back to his plan, his will, his purpose, right?
And the way he wanted it.
The way he wanted it, right. And so, so awesome. Thank you for opening up with that. And so that's a great way to start out with 2024, is just doing a self-check. I know many of us is going into pride. I know some of us, we don't do resolutions, but at the same time, we are coming back to our first love, and that's Christ. And just, Lord, bring us back to the original plan, to the original purpose, to the original gift, that we can love ourselves, love what we do, and do what we love. Right? Yeah. Right. And so as we are moving on into this interview, I'd like for you to tell us what really, when it comes to your business, and we'll get into the book, but when it comes to your business, I want you to let the people know what really motivates you to keep going day by day.
Being self-sufficient, being able to travel when I want to travel, wherever I want to go. 9 years ago, when I started out, you know, getting into daycare business, um, it provided me the time and space and opportunity to get closer to my son,
Mm-hmm.
to spend more time with my son, and just to focus on me,
Yeah.
just to focus on me. And it taught me how to more so believe in myself, um, have more faith in me, and that I can accomplish what it is that I set out to do. You know, I didn't set out to become an entrepreneur for the glitz and glamour, as they say, or the money. I did it for freedom, and
Mm.
everything else was given to me, that I had dreamed about. But it was just not having to deal with Nashville traffic, or not having to be in a toxic environment, or being able to just set my own hours, you know, or not do anything if I don't want to, you know.
Right.
So that was a good feeling. That was a good feeling.
So freedom and just working on you
Working
and
on me.
working
Yes.
on you. And the book that we are going to talk about tonight, I want you to let us know what the title is of the book and your chapter of the book, and tell us how you came up with your title and who the book is speaking to, or what was your inspiration when you wrote the book.
The title of the book is called Coming from Behind the Bush. You know, a lot of people say, people wear masks because
Mm-hmm.
they want to cover up this part of who they are. For me, I came from behind the bush because I never wanted to be seen from head to toe. I always
Mm.
wanted to stay in the background,
Yes.
never in the front. And I got to a point where I was tired of being looked over, basically. I know I have a voice. I know people draw to me. Um, I guess it's a gift, you would say, because when I do speak, people do listen.
Yes.
Uh, I wanted to relate to women who have gone through times in their life where they didn't understand where um where their hurt was coming from. I knew there was a lot of women out in the world that have dealt with family issues, such as myself. Not the typical issues, as far as finances, or um, sexual abuse, or things of that nature. Because I grew up in a two-parent household. I
Yes.
grew up in a pretty, really nice neighborhood, swimming pool. I mean, the whole nine. So it wasn't like it was bad if you're looking at it from the outside. But if you dove deeper in, you would see it wasn't always glamorous. My father was a heavy drinker. Um, I wouldn't say daily, but he would have triggers.
Mm-hmm.
So when he would have those triggers, he would turn to moonshine whiskey or vodka, was his two drinks of choice.
Mm.
Um, and from there, it was a whole different person that I didn't know would come out. And this went on for years up until the time that I left. And I know a lot of women have family issues, or what we call now daddy issues.
Yeah.
And it's not that anything is wrong with it, but at the end of the day, um, we have to find a place and a time where it's time for us to heal.
Right.
And so if I could be a voice um, or role model to anyone that make him relate, then that's what I want to do. You don't have to stay in that environment. You don't have to stay in that place mentally. There is a way out. And it just starts with um, self-awareness, self-check, us as adults anyway. Younger, teenagers, younger than that, elementary style. I mean, you got to be able to gear our youth in a more positive direction if they are dealing with certain things in the home. And you got to find a way to get them to open up. And it may not necessarily be you, but if you know someone, network with other people, then maybe they can be that door for them to come to and talk and have an open discussion without shame or guilt.
That
You
safe
know,
out.
yeah, exactly. Use them and be used as an outlet. Help find that outlet for them. But us as adult women, we got to do that self check. We got to be self aware. We've got to find a way to channel in deep within ourselves and pull out those areas that we don't want to face or look at or talk about. Because how are we supposed to get to that healing if everything is so suppressed?
Mm,
And that's not good, because with that suppression comes anxiety, it comes depression, it comes overeating, it comes with overstimulation of the brain, because now we're analyzing everything. Paranoia comes with that, because we're thinking people are watching, people know about me, people looking at me, people are going to judge me. So you got all of these different aspects that's coming into the pot, mixing and twisting and turning and everything. And it's just not good, because now we're looking at migraine headaches. We're looking at hypertension. We're looking at people who are overeating,
right.
because
Do
that's
the
our
stress.
go-to to feel
Mhm.
comfortable. We go and we hide in those particular places. We have people that become very sexually active.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different avenues that we take as individuals in order to cope, in order to continue to suppress, in order to hide. And I'm like, you know what? It's a new day. It's a new time. It's time to stop. It's time for us to come together and heal, or at least be that avenue, that connect, that outlet, that can assist in someone in their healing process. So for me, being able to come aboard in this particular anthology was like my ticket. Not only to be expressive about what I went through and how I overcame, um, but it was also healing for me as well, because no one knew my story. No one knew that I, lived a homeless life as an adult. No one knew that I ran, I had to get away. People looked at me and they see this smile, but you don't know what goes on behind the
What-
smile.
Right. What's
You
going on
know?
behind the smile?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then with me, I never wanted to be seen. I always hid in the background. I'm like, nah, I'm here. You
Right.
can see me, everything, my flaws and everything. I
I
need
would
you
no
to
longer. I
see
would no
me.
longer be overlooked.
That's it. I have a voice. I have something to say. So yeah, don't overlook me. Don't count me out.
Right. Amen. So that's good, and I can read. Um, that's how I was spoke to. Probably when I started my first event, because, like I said, everything that I do was in at home, and there was some things that he was, I had pretty much almost gave up on me, because I
Hmm.
felt like
Hmm.
everything that I had invested in or had started, um, I got to give it up again, you know. Um, there's no regrets in the sacrifice that I have made or did make for my family. But there is a time, like you said, sometimes you feel overlooked, and we go into that shell. We hide our heads,
Yeah.
and um, because we feel like we're pouring in or we're sowing the seed, but no one is pouring back into us, or no one is nurturing the seed.
All the time. That
You
return of
know,
investment is important.
yeah. And so when we began to get quiet, and I began to get quiet, and I went into this place, and the Lord was like, that's one of the things about my event, the Power Moves Her, that I have yearly in May. The scripture that I stand on is, he who began a great work in you is faithful to complete it.
Yeah.
I still have work for you to do.
Yes.
I still have work for you to complete. So no, my daughter, I need you to speak. I need you to open your mouth.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
I was the quiet one in the room. Like you said, I was the one that sat in the back. I'm listening. I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't want, I don't want to speak. I don't want to open my mouth. I don't want to come to the front to be the leader that he has called me to be.
Right.
And I know the leadership is within me. You knew the leadership within you to be not just the employee, but the boss.
Yeah. Definitely.
Right.
Write my own ticket.
He's like, I'm equipping you. I have equipped you. I'm going to provide you with the tools, the resources, the network, the connection of people that you need to be connected to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
the right people, the right circle.
Right. Yes.
Influence.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But I had to go through before I got to that. A lot of people fell off. And I didn't understand that at first until certain ministries was coming to me, certain conversations was coming to me, certain people was coming to me, and they was like, not everyone's going with you. You ain't gonna be able to get there, and you're still holding on to this over
everything. Here. Listen, I received the word last year too. It was like everything that's connected to you is not assigned to you.
It's not assigned to you. And I went through a season of loneliness, of singleness, where the phone wasn't ringing. I wasn't being asked to go hang out with the girls. I was in no relationship. Like when I say I was by myself, I was by myself, and I thought I was going crazy. But it was until I came out of that time of being alone, that singleness time, when now I have clarity.
Yes. Because it was the noise. You had the noise, the distraction.
Like and you said, I have the right people in my corner bagging me up. People wasn't believing in me the way I believed in you. Just like you said, I pour out, but wasn't nothing being poured back in. So my return of investment was zero.
Woo. Until you learn, like you said, in that place of singleness, that place of solitude, that place of come back. Let me just go back to my first love. Let me go back to my creator. Right. So he can bring me back. You know what I'm saying? Because I done got caught up in all of this, noise, distractions, and So he needed to give you the clarity, but like you said, first you had to go through a thing. You had to come out of a thing.
Yeah.
You had to go through. You had to come out to really have clarity and to see. Sometimes we're afraid because in your going through, he was pruning you and purging you and shaping you.
Yeah.
And that process don't always feel good
at all. At all.
So in this time too, you was learning, like you said before, you was learning to connect with yourself, find yourself, love yourself.
Had to,
right. And so in us talking about self, and talking about the book, and you collaborating with other women, when we talk about self, what would be your definition of that when it comes to self? Understanding what self means when it comes to, just understanding us individually.
I mean, you got to come to a point when we're talking about self. Who are you? What are you about? What is it that you're wanting to accomplish? What is it that you bring? What is it that you have to offer? Everything from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and everything from the inside, front side, back side, all the way around involves around you. Who are you?
Who are you?
So that takes some self-searching. Dig down deep. You got to. Because until you know who self is, until you know who you are, you're going to continue going in this cycle of pretend. And that's a cycle that I didn't want to be on anymore. Having to pretend, having to cover. This is me, flaws and all. Take me as I am. God loves me. I love myself. If you don't, then so be it. You're going to miss out. I'm not, because I know who I am now. And I'm okay. If I got to be alone and ride this ride by myself, guess what? I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Before
That's your place.
then,
That's that
I
place
was,
of peace.
that, come on
That place of
now.
peace where you just say, I'm good. I'm okay.
I'm good. And when you get to a place where you good with being alone, you're a powerful person, because you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable because you okay with riding that ride by yourself. You okay with rising to the top by yourself. You okay with coming home and you have a empty house, but guess what? There ain't no drama. You ain't got no hoopla going on. You ain't got no mess. Your bills are paid. I'm good. I'm good. To whereas before, nah, the more people around me, the merrier, and I still wasn't happy. I still
Mhm.
didn't have no peace, but I didn't understand that at the time because I hadn't dug down deep within and pulled out that mess that was in there. But when I did, I was able to write my own ticket after that.
Ooh, yes. My own ticket.
And that's what it's about. I mean, we've all been equipped to write our own ticket, regardless if it's in the corporate field or being an entrepreneur or trying to bring both of them together, or if you at home being a housewife and mother. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You still got to know who you are and what you're capable of doing and what you have to offer and what you bring and what you're capable of doing and being and building. I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just finding where you fit, finding what it is that you love, what it is that you want to do. And it wasn't until a few years ago where I really had to realize, and I think I was reading in the book of Psalms, and it was about being of service to others. And my grandmother, God may she be resting in peace, she was a caregiver, and there was many times white uniform, white shoes, and every day she would get up, but she always had a smile on her face when she
Mhm.
was taking care of other people. Always had a smile on her face. No matter how tired she was, she still did what she had to do because it was about her giving of herself. She was very selfless, very
Mhm.
selfless. And it wasn't until a few years ago um, when I realized that was passed down to me. When I opened my first daycare, I was blown away by the unconditional love that children gives to you. I was blown away with the fact that I was able to help parents that were struggling to identify what was going on with their children.
Mhm.
Children that have come through my daycare, most of them have always been long term, saw them from when they were infants all the way up until it was time for them to leave to go to kindergarten. Um, I've been able to help by sending some parents to Vanderbilt to help get their children diagnosed with autism, with ADHD, because I had already studied, and because I was the owner of the daycare, there are just certain levels further than staff that I had to go to get a better understanding, more clarity, when it comes to the socialization as well as the mental state when it comes to children. And so I knew the signs, I knew what to look for, and I would see it. And so I was able to navigate a conversation with the parents that didn't upset them,
Mhm.
help them to where they wasn't as stressed anymore.
Right.
But once they were able to finally get a proper prognosis that led to a proper diagnosis from the medical field, of doctors and practitioners, pediatricians, and things of that nature, to that helped them to better understand their child and what their child was going through. So that brought about more peace in their home. And for a parent to come back and in tears just to thank me, just to give me a hug and said, I've never had anyone to help me before. I didn't have anyone to listen to me. Thank you. My job was done.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. And I've been living that way ever since of giving myself to others. Um, Wanting to not just say I live in a community, but I am part of the community.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't want to say, well, I live in the community of such and such. No, I'm involved in my community. I'm part of the community. I'm help raising these children out here to be better individuals. They don't come here to learn ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and colors and shapes and mathematics and things of that nature, but they get social skills. You know, they get team building skills. At the age of 3 and 4, once they are able to start speaking in sentences and understanding, now we're gonna have some conversations based off, what you're able to comprehend. And when you get ready for school, you're gonna be ready.
Right.
With everything. And I mean, that's just how I am, even with the other businesses that I own and run. It's the same thing. I take that selflessness with me everywhere I go. And it wasn't always that. It was not always that.
Yes.
But I'm thankful that God was able to pull out that stinginess, that self-doubt. I still have a little bit. Doubt, still seeks in, from time to time. But I overcome it, through prayer, through conversation, through just being open. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I just keep going. It's a one day at a time way of living.
That's
It's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
It's a mindset change.
One day at a time. That's
one day at a time. Yeah, it's never going to be overnight. Never.
Right. And so I have your picture up, your magazine cover.
Thank you.
I have it up, and I also put the link in how others can get a copy of your magazine. So tell us a little bit about that opportunity.
It was through Instagram. That particular magazine reached out to me, and they're trying to build their platform and things of that nature. And it was right after the book came out. I can't remember what of the two, because actually another feature just came out last month, the same group of 20 women to watch for 2024, and I made the cut. So I've been very blessed to make the cut again. But I was able to utilize their platform, just to talk, just to be out there, because you never know who's watching, you never know who's listening, and you have so many people out there that want to start a business, or they're people just dealing with things these days. And if they see me and they reach out to me, I'm there. What are you going to talk about? What can I help you with? And if I don't have the answer, and it may be people in my network that I can put you in contact with, because at the end of the day, it's about helping one another.
Yes, it is. It is. I want to congratulate you on all your success.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you on your willingness, even in spite of what you have went through, came out, overcame. You have, you understand self-confidence, self-love, self-worth, self-value, all of that, right? And I can tell you are in a space where you are okay. You are in a space where you are. You have that peace within. It's you just, when you talk, when you speak, your body language, everything about you shows that you have found that place of recovery. And I'm speaking all of the words that this book, I put the link in the comments, it really teach on, right? It gives keys and lessons on when it comes to those who have overcome hardship, pain, and now, I know then when you wrote the book, it was I'm finding a new road to recovery. No, you're in recovery. You have recovered, right? You have recovered, right? You
Yeah.
are not healing, but I feel that you in a place, girl, you healed.
Girl,
You
I'm
know,
relaxed.
you are healed. You are healed in the name of Jesus, right? And so
Yeah.
you are in a place now, like you said, I am the community. I'm part of the community.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
And so and so before we end tonight, there's one more thing I want you to touch on, because several of the questions that I had, you actually, as you was talking and as you was speaking, you really had already unfolded that thing. But I do want to talk a little bit more about self-confidence and why it's important for us to have that self-confidence as we are moving in 2024.
um Having self-confidence is so important because you have to believe in yourself. Without self-belief, I mean, where is the confidence supposed to come from? You just can't go to a store and buy it. You got to pull that thing out from within.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to move forward in your dreams, the goals that you have set for yourself, you have to believe in yourself. You got to walk in that room like, y'all need me, I don't need you.
Right.
And that's your self-confidence
Right.
in knowing you know what you know, knowing that I know I can get the job done. You need me, I don't need you. And it's not to be arrogant, you know what I mean? It's about being confident.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, you got some people that mistake confidence versus being cocky.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence, it comes with eloquence. You know what I'm saying? You move in a different way when you're confident. You don't move in a way of being what's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You move the way you move, but it's a peaceful way that you go about handling things, and still knowing I am that woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get it done, but you do it gracefully.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That
Because you
sweet
believe in
spirit. You got
yourself.
that. You have that sweet
Yeah.
spirit, and when you walk in the room, it's on you. You
It's a
know.
shift. It's a shift, and people recognize that. They really don't understand it, but they recognize a shift just took place.
Yes.
But you know deep down within, yeah, I am that one.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
God built me. I went through some things to get to this point. I'm gonna own up to mine.
You're gonna own it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For the rest, once you figure that out, don't ever let it go. Don't ever
Right.
let it go. Don't ever let it go. Every time you walk in a room, make that atmosphere shift.
Yes.
Put a smile
Atmosphere
on your
changer.
face. You walk that walk, and you keep it moving. Come on now.
Right. Yes. Yes. We all, we all as children, we should get into a space of just in that confidence, and knowing that every one of us have, if we haven't already, will go through some
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
right? And
Got to.
then you're going through. A lady had brought to my attention. She said, spell the word through. She said, and she said, take the th off. What do you get? Rough. We all go through those rough places, but those rough places is to teach us, right? It's to grow us.
Mm-hmm.
It's to build our character, right? And so each and every one of us have something to bring to the table. God
Mm-hmm.
has made, we as a team, as a circle, as a network, we all have our own story. So nobody should be fighting over anything, because
Nothing.
we all are made in a unique, creative way, right? You might you may have a tribe. He have assigned you to this tribe, to this audience of people. He may have assigned me to this tribe and to this audience of people. Whether it could be through through the anointing, through the gift and talent of how we
Right.
speak it, how we say it, how we unfold it, how we develop, whatever that thing may be. But whatever it is that he have given unto you, we grateful, we thankful, and we show up.
Yeah.
Right? We show up. And so if there's any last words that you could give to those who are watching tonight, what would it be?
Oh man, stand in your truth, regardless of what it is. Stand in your truth, dig down deep within, find that place of hurt, work toward getting it resolved in order to find and make peace within, because now it's time for you to love you.
Mm-hmm.
Stand in that mirror. If you got to cry, then you cry. If you want to shout, then you shout. But I need you to release. So that's the word we're going to end with tonight. Release will be the word that I want anyone listening or that comes back and rewatch this. Your word is release. Not release as in shred it up and this. You got to go find it first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to go find what it is you're trying to release. So when you dig down deep and you find what that thing is that's been holding you back, I need you to face it. When you face it, admit to it that it is going away and is never to return. Release that thing. And from that point forward, I need you to walk in your purpose. I need you to be in that journey for you. No one else, but for you. So I need you to find that thing and I want you to release it by any means necessary. Whatever it is that you got to release, I need you to dig down deep and I need you to find it. Because at the end of the day, we as adult women, we have to be held accountable for some things, not all things, but some things we will have to be held accountable for. And once we can come to a place to understand and be able to be hold ourselves accountable for certain things that we allow to come into our lives, we'll be in a better place mentally. Mm-hmm. Everything starts with the head. Mm-hmm. If the head ain't right, guess what? Body ain't gonna work right either. Mm-hmm. So it starts with a great, I ain't even gonna say great, it just starts with a changed mindset. Once you can accomplish changing your mindset over one thing, because it's not overnight, it's one step at a time. But once you can change your mindset over that one thing, that next one is going to be easy. And then when it comes time for the next thing you need to change your mindset on, you're going to research and figure out what way to maneuver in order to accomplish that you're trying to get rid of. And then it just goes from there all the time. I have to do that. That's all the time for me. I wouldn't be on the journey of opening another business had I not changed my mindset when it came to operating a business. Mm-hmm. You know, this particular business is going to be similar, but yet different. So I had to change my mindset on how I wanted to approach it. What was going to be my maneuvers? What are the pros and cons? Same thing with life. You know, I can't go in knowing I don't drink while I'm going to a bar. You know what I mean? You got to change your mindset. You got to figure out what's going to work best for you. So dig down deep, find that thing, and I need you to release it. You're going to feel a whole lot better. And if you don't, come and find me. You know, hey.
Yes. That's what I was going to tell you to do next. I want you to give the audience ways to connect with you. You know, I know you have several services. So, you know, just kind of give them what your services are and how they can connect with you, how they can find you.
They can find me on Facebook, of course, under T Trice, and I'm on Instagram under my business name, which is Tranquility Homes TN, which is on Instagram. The email information, website information is all there on Instagram for people that want to, you know, contact me for whatever reason, for speaking engagements, for different events. If you want to bring me out to sell book, I mean, just whatever the case is. If you just need someone to talk to, I'm there. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with it at all.
So your child care business, what is the name of your child care?
It's under Tranquility Homes.
Okay, I'm gonna type that in the comments.
Mhm.
Or you can post it in the comments once you can also add your information there as well, whatever you choose to comment, just where the people can continue to follow you. And so you also have the in-home service. What is the name of the in-home service?
Tranquility Homes LLC.
Okay. And then the books, we have highlighted her book. She's in the book Love Yourself. And so we have put that in the comments as well. And we also have the magazine. And so we have how that she was highlighted in, and I have put the comments there as well. So there is different ways that you can connect with her and support her. We definitely want you to continue to support her in what she is doing. And she has some other projects that she's working on as well. So it's very important that you either go to her Instagram page and connect with her. And what is your next project you are working on?
Blah blah blah. Apologize for that. Residential assistant living home.
Okay, residential assistant living home. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. And so we want to again. I want to end by saying thank you, author Miss T Trice. Thank you. I celebrate you. I congratulate you, and
Thank
those who
you.
are coming in and watching the replay. Make sure that you do just that. Congratulate her, encourage her, inspire her, because that's something that we all need, right? To inspire each other, encourage each other, because we are all blessed to be a blessing, right? And
Yes.
so I thank you personally for coming on to She's Purposeke tonight and book talk. And we don't just talk about books, but I love to help other people just bring exposure to not just their stories, but their services, right? And how they are
Mhm.
showing up in the world and how they are loving what they are doing and doing what they love, right? And so
Yes.
if you are
Yeah.
an author, you are an entrepreneur, as you may also see at the bottom of my screen, faith, family, career, and business. Most of the women that I love to talk to, and love to connect with, and love to have conversations with, we are multitaskers, right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
multitaskers, and so we are women of faith. We are women who are holding the homes down, taking care of our families.
Yes.
We are women that's working in our careers, and we also running our business, right?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
many of us have pivoted. You know, we have left the corporate world and went full time in our business, and that's even whoop 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 whoop. And so she's one of those, right? She's one of those who was like, I'm running mine. I'm the boss. I'm the head, right, of mine, right? And so we just thank you so much. We thank you as an audience. We thank you those who are listening. We hope something that we spoke tonight touched you in a way that really motivates you to go hard in 2024. That really motivates you
Please.
to
Yeah.
just tap into you. And guess what? From my personal experience, when it comes to just tapping into you, it's okay to get into that quiet place.
It is.
It's
Yes.
okay to get into that quiet place. You gotta hear. Sometimes it's just too much noise. You pull left, you pull right, you pull everywhere, but to the feet of Jesus.
Is it? Yeah.
So go back to. I say the first love. Go back to your first love. Go back to your Creator and pray. And sometimes Father, in the name of Jesus, I'm here. Speak to me. Sometimes it's just a matter of you just being still and you just listening. Just listen to that quiet voice, right? And so we just, again, I won't hold you all much longer, but in 2024, just make yourself a priority. Make yourself
Yes.
a priority. And so I want to say good night wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And
Right.
I'll see you next time on She's Purpose Key. Good night.
Good night.